Hi everyone, welcome to StoryFest. Oxford University Press India has curated this beautiful series of 5 storytelling sessions starting today on Monday, and it will go on for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday. And it's a story fest. And to begin with, since it's online, and I need to know whether you can see me, whether you can hear me. I need to know if you can see me and if you can hear me, drop a hello in the chat box. Drop hello. Let me see the chat box. I can get hello, Amy, Renu, Srishti. Lovely. I can see your hello. So I'm live. You can hear me. You can see me. Once again, a very, very, very warm welcome to the Story Fest curated specially for you children by Oxford University, India, Oxford University Press, India. And we are very, 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 very excited. Are you? If you are excited, write excited in the chat box. Hi, everybody. I can see your hellos. Now tell me if you're excited, drop excited. If you are okay, drop okay. If you are looking forward to a super fun time, write super fun. Let me see. All right. This is lovely. You don't know. That's fine. You will know by the end of today because this is just the first day and we have exciting things lined up for you in the coming days. Super fun. I'm looking for exciting, super fun times as well. So now that we have some of you here, and I'm sure more of your friends will keep joining, but without further delay, let's begin. Are you ready? So if you're ready, drop a ready in the chat box. We'll use the chat box extensively because although it's a YouTube live, the series is designed to be interactive and participatory. So it's very, very important that you participate, you interact, you respond, because we are here to share the love of stories with each other. And I have a lot to learn from you. I don't know how much will you learn from me, but I am very, very sure that I'm going to learn some very, very, very exciting things from you all. So, yes, we are ready. So, to introduce you about StoryFest, this festival has been curated keeping in mind the lovely power of stories and the story series from Oxford Educate are under the focus in this particular segment. What we have done is we have picked up stories from that segment that can be easily accessed by you on OUP's portal and digital portal. And what we have done is we have tried to design exciting activities, exciting discussions, exciting insights around the books and the stories, because we strongly, strongly believe at OUPI that books are not just about reading a story and forgetting about it. Stories and books are about looking at the pictures. It's about writing what we feel like about the characters. It's about trying to understand the story, trying to understand the characters in the story, and so many more things that we're going to talk about today, which is also the theme for today, which is identifying the elements in the story. So before we begin, can I request you to quickly drop the elements of the story in the chat box? Let's see what we already know about elements of the story. Okay, so the theme is environment, yes. So somebody said characters, somebody said settings and stage. Characters is something that's coming again and again and again. Somebody said title, climax, moral, plot, place, theme, elements, characters, conflict, problem, plot. Lovely. So I think we have put down quite a few of elements of the story. Let's listen to the story today and then identify the elements, and we'll keep talking more about them as we go. All right. So I want you to drop the favorite element of the story for you. Which is your favorite element of the story in the chat box? Quickly, out of all the elements that I said, which is your favorite element of the story? Character. I think character wins hands down, because characters are the ones that we relate to, that helps us to go to the land that we know, that we don't know. All right. Okay. Should we begin the story now? Are you ready? Yes. All right. You are ready. I am ready. So why delay it? Let's begin the story. And before beginning the story, it's very important to call the story. How will we call the story to our StoryFest? Call, call, call the story, call. And wherever you are reminds me, can you quickly drop in from which part of the country or the world you are logging in? Can you quickly drop your cities and countries in the chat box before we call the story? Because that will be exciting for the story to know. Where is she being called? Haryana, Gangtok, Mizoram, Sikkim, Ahmedabad. Wow. I think we have people, students joining in from across the length and breadth of our country. So, call, and wherever you are, everybody, sing with me. Call, call, call the story. Call, call, call the story. Call, call, call the story. Call the story to the live. Everybody, call, call, call the story. Call, call, call the story. Call, call, call the story. Call the story to the life. And now that we are all ready, the story is ready too. So today's story, the first story that I've brought for you today, is the story of a tree. Now, can you quickly, in the chat box, tell me, take 10 seconds to imagine how this tree looks like. And I want you to think how it looks like, what's its shape, what's its size, what's its color, its shape, size, and color. And drop it in the chat box. Try and put all the three things at one go: the shape, the size, and the color of this tree. So, this story is about the tree, about a tree. And I want you to imagine, what does it look like? Your tree can be different than mine. This person's tree can be different from theirs. But it is still that tree. So we have all sorts of trees here. And I see a question here, a very relevant question, ma'am. What do you want to say to the students by this? I just want the students to know that while they are listening to the story, they play a very, very, very important role in the story. Even while they're reading the stories, they play a very, very important role, and they are an active participant in the story reading or storytelling, because they have to keep their window of their imaginations open. So, as you keep the window of your imagination open, there is a world out there that's lying there to explore. So now that we know what that tree looks like, let's begin the story with your tree. This story is about this tree and Anu. Anu, who's a playful little girl who studies in grade 4. She loves to play, she loves to dance, she loves to party, she loves to go out with her friends, she loves to study, she loves to paint, she loves to do so many things like any other 4-year-old. And she loves trees. She loves the trees when they move all around. She loves the trees when she's able to sit under them and relax. She loves the trees when they rustle in the wind. She loves the trees when sometimes the leaves drop by and touch her arm. She loves that feeling. She loves the trees when the flowers and the fruits bloom, and when she's standing under the tree, she can really smell them. She loves the trees for everything that they had. But today, Anu was sad because the tree in her backyard, yes, exactly the one that you imagined, was not green, rustling with leaves, brown anymore. It was dying. And when Anu looked around, she could see no other trees. This was the only tree left in her neighborhood. Why do you think that happened? Oh no, I agree. Why do you think that happened? Where did all the other trees go? The trees were in danger because once the beautiful neighborhood that was filled with all sorts of trees was cut slowly one by one to make space for the big malls, for the big buildings, office building, apartments building, residence building, and whatnot. And the tree in the backyard was the last tree that was left. And this broke Anu's heart. Anu was sad. Anu was upset. Anu didn't know what to do. She had lived under the green, beautiful environment, smelling the aroma, feeling the rustling, listening to the chirpy birds, even speaking to the trees sometimes. But today, she was heartbroken. And while she was sitting and trying to figure out, her friends came, Zara and Surya. Zara and Surya came and they came calling for Anu. Anu! 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 But where was Anu? Anu was lying there crying, feeling helpless. Anu didn't know what to do. Can you quickly take a moment, children, to jot down the characters that you have met till now in the story? All right. So you have met Anu, you have met Zara, you have met Surya. And I love the response of people who say that they have met the tree as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So now Anu was upset. Zara and Surya have just entered and they see Anu crying. They are surprised to see their friend because Anu is a happy go lucky, jovial child. They have never seen her cry so much. They get worried. What happened? What happened, Anu? What happened? This this tree, it's dying. Zara, Surya, can't we do anything to save it? Of course we can. Uh, Zara said, yes, if we can. Surya also thought, yeah, it should be easy peasy. Let's go, let's see. But as they go, they realize that the leaves that used to rustle with the wind are dying. The branches which used to sway beautifully and happily in the wind were drooping. The tree bark was there, but it had nothing to hold. Will we be able to save this tree? Asked Zara. Yes, yes, if we try, we can, said Surya. Let's think. Let's think of our science classes. What does a plant need to survive? Uh, what do you think? Can we help Zara, Surya, and Anu? What do plants need? Quickly, quickly, quickly. They need water. Yes, they do. They need soil. Yes, they do. They need air. Yes, they do. They need manure. Yes, they do. The fertilizer. So, Anu quickly made sure that she gave lots and lots of water to the plant. Zara and Surya made sure that they mixed the soil beautifully and nicely, and they did it well, and they mixed the manure in the soil. The air was right there. And they kept doing it day after day after day after day after day after day after day. Alas, no result because they were forgetting a very, very important thing, which you all did not. What were they forgetting, children? Put it in the chat box. There should be only one word now. They remember the water, the air, the soil, and the manure. What are they missing? They are giving all this to their dear tree. What are they missing? There should be only one answer in the chat box now. Sunlight. Lovely. Sunlight. And that's why all the trees have died. There is not even a single tree that's there because there are high rise buildings, there are big offices, there are big apartments, and there is no space for sunlight to reach this tiny tree. But we can do something, said Zara. What will you do? Break all these buildings, said Surya. People are foolish, taking away all our plants for the buildings. I will never get my tree back. Who is this? Who just said this dialogue? I want you to quickly. You met three characters who are speaking, Anu, Zara, and Surya, right? Who said this, the last sentence? Absolutely good. You're listening. Anu said this because Anu is the one who's so worried about the tree because the tree is where? Everybody, where is this tree? Where is this tree? Put it in the chat box. Anu's? In the backyard. Lovely. Gauri, Kakkar, lovely. So it's in Anu's backyard. So Anu is the one who said this. They had no idea what to do. They looked around, they went all around. And while they were discussing this, they were sad. They heard a voice. Children, your snacks are ready. Who can be this? Who can be this? Anu, Zara, Surya, or a new character? Mom. Only moms talk like that, yeah? Okay, yes, exactly. And whose mom is it? Whose mom is it? Anu's moms, because they are in Anu's house. Good job, everyone. So now that they're in Anu's house, and Anu's mom calls them, and did they go? They tried to, but they were very, very upset. And as they went near Mama, Mama, of course, saw all her children very, very upset. And she asked, what's their problem? And Anu, Zara, and Surya told their problem in detail to Mama. Mama listened to them carefully and said, I have an idea for you. Mama, really? You have an idea for us? Yes, of course I do. And Mama whispered something in their ear. Can you tell me what would have Mama whispered? What did Mama tell them? Do you have a solution? Mama talked about saving the trees. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. What did she say? I can see the answers in the chat box, and you're on the right track. And Mama whispered something in their ears. And after that, Anu, Zara, and Surya went ahead to listen to Mama's advice and find a few objects from around them. They collected the glasses, some mirrors, and the metals that reflect. They looked around. They had no way to get rid of these buildings so that sunlight can reach their little tree. But they could do something about it. We can't go there, but we can carry the sunlight to the tree. Carry the sunlight by bringing the sunlight to the tree. So they took all the glasses and the mirrors and the reflective metals that they collected and put them in different angles and places such that the light reflected on them. Now, can you tell me that why did they have to put glasses and mirrors in different places? Why was one mirror not sufficient for the light to reflect? Yes, you are right. She used reflection. Now, my question is that they put so many different mirrors at different angles and places. Why is that? Light comes from here, reflect it, and let it be on the plant, on the tree. Because sun moves around. Sun rises from the, everybody in the chat box, sun rises from the east and sets in the, everybody in the chat box, sets in the west. And in between, and during the daytime, it's on top of our heads as well. So it goes around. So they put mirrors and reflectors at every possible angle so that the tree is able to get as much sunlight as possible. And when they did this, after a few days, they could see their tree blooming with life slowly. They could see that the world around them was changing. Suddenly, the backyard became greener, full of birds chirping. And this is how Anu, Zara, and Surya saved the last tree, which became the first one of the new series of trees that grew in the coming years, using this beautiful technique that Anu, Zara, and Surya started in their town. And this was the story of the last tree. And this story, I've taken some diversions from the written version of the story, which you will find in the Learn with Stories series of Oxford Educate Level 5. Now, before I move to the next story, I want you to, in one word, tell me how did you find this story? Just one word. Yes, you will find this link even after we finish this live. You will find it on OUPI's YouTube page. So don't worry about it. It will be right there. All right, now that we've all enjoyed the story, I really enjoyed telling it, and I'm absolutely, absolutely thrilled with the response that I'm getting in the chat box. We also dissected the characters in the story. I want you to move to the next element of the story, that is the problem of the story. In one sentence, one crisp, nice sentence, can you tell me what was the problem in the story? In one full sentence. What was the problem in the story? This is the second element of the story that we're talking about. We've talked about the characters. We're talking about the second element in the story. There were no trees left in the world. You're close. How to save trees? So save trees or save the last tree? The problem in the story was that Anu and his friends wanted to save the last tree in their neighborhood. And how did they save it? The third element, the solution of the story. How did they save the tree? Quickly, in one sentence. Only the solution in the chat box now. By putting mirrors, reflectors, and bringing the sunlight to the tree. Lovely, lovely, everybody. Now, can you tell me? So, we have talked about three elements of the story: the characters, the problem, and the solution. Can you tell me the very important fourth element which comes in the beginning of the story? Let's talk about the fourth element now. Let's move forward. We have talked about characters, we have talked about the solution problem, and we've talked about the solution. Let's talk about the very important, very good, Jayanti Ambrose. The setting. The setting of the story is very, very important for us to travel with the story. Can you quickly tell me in the chat box what was the setting of this story? Quickly. The setting is? Okay, yes, yes. What is setting? All right, this is a good question. So, the setting of the story means where is the entire story set? Which place, which time? What is the setting of the story? Which town, which country, which locality, which culture? It can be anything, right? So, now can you tell me what was the setting of our story, The Last Tree? Very good. Anu's backyard and neighborhood. That was Anu's neighborhood, Anu's backyard. So now, do you see something beautiful about this setting? They haven't defined in which part of the country it is. They haven't defined a particular place. So you know what? You are free to imagine your setting in the story, which is Anu's neighborhood and backyard. So I invite all the children watching me to pick up a pen and a paper after the session, not a now. Pick up some colors, pick up a drawing sheet, and draw a beautiful Anu's neighborhood on a sheet of paper and mail it to Oxford University Press India at gmail.com. We would definitely look at the responses, and we would love to see how you imagine Anu's neighborhood to be. Yes? Now, so we have talked about the setting, we have talked about the character, we have talked about the pollution problem, we have talked about the solution. Is there any element that we are missing? Do you want to talk about any other element in the story? Quickly in the chat box. No, somebody says title. Title is definitely a very important part of the story, but it doesn't form an element or the narrative arc of the story. Okay, so title is something that makes it exciting, that invites the readers into the story. A title is the first look or the first impression of the story, so it has to be really cool, but it does not form the element of the story writing as such. The second thing that's coming is moral. Okay, now let's talk about morals. Can you quickly tell me what is the moral that you got from this story? What did you learn from this story? Can we put it in the chat box, please? That is not really the element of the story, but I would really like to talk us about this. I would like us to talk about this. What is the moral of the story, the last tree that you just listened? Now read the chat box, children. So many different responses for the same story that you heard by the same teller in the same way. So, do not box your stories in just one single moral. Try to look at the different perspectives, different learnings, different things that a story is talking to you about. Listen to the story, think of the story, imagine the story, and let the story sink in. Very good. Now, somebody also, so that's about title and the morals, and somebody also said the plot and the climax. So, plot is a very, very important element of the story, which basically includes all the other objects, all the dialogues, all the other interactions that you create, so that we move from the beginning of the story to the middle, which includes the problem and the solution, towards the end. This is the story arc. Now, at this point in time, I want you to ask any questions that you might have, and I'll take some questions before we go to our next story. The story is real image. This is a fiction. This is definitely a fictional story. Yes. What are the questions? What is a plot? A plot is basically how the story progresses. So there is Anu, there is Zara, there is Surya. What are they doing? What is the problem that they are in? What is it that they're trying to solve? It all forms the plot, the detail of the story. Okay. I am Shivani, everybody. I am Dr. Shivani Kanodia, a professional storyteller who loves to tell stories and find a lot of meaning in the stories, not just the stories, but behind the stories, after the stories, before the stories. And I strongly, strongly believe that stories are all around us, from high up in ocean, from high up the sky to deep down in the ocean. So just look for your stories around. Hmm. Any other questions? We can take two more questions before we get into the next story, everybody. Ah, I love this. How can it be fictional if this is real? It's happening around us. So while this story may be fictional, while this exact account may not have happened between Anu, Zara, and Surya, but this is the story of our lives. There is pollution, there are less trees, there are less birds who come to chirp, there are falling and dying trees all around us. So, this story is happening all around us. So, before I move to the next story, I want to ask you, would you be the Anu, the Surya, and the Zara? Will you be those children who will promise to save the plants and the trees and the nature around them? Tell me in the chat box. I want to know. Yes, it is tomorrow as well. This will continue for 5 days till Friday. This is just the beginning of the Story Fest, and I'm glad to have such brilliant kids with me who promise that they will take care of the environment and save the trees. I am so happy to listen this. Lovely. So now tell me, are you ready for the next story of the day? All right, all right, all right. So the next story is ready. And can you put that one word that we want to write to invite the story? Okay, okay. These are good responses. Great, 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 great. So, are we ready for the next story? If you're ready, say ready in the chat box. Everybody, call the story. Call the story to the live. Everybody, call the story. Call the story to the live. Call the story. Call the story to the live. Everybody, call the story. How will you complete this sentence? Put it in the chat box, everybody, and I will begin the story once I get 50 sentence completions. Call the story. And what is the next line? I got one from Nora. Call the story to the live. All right. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, everybody. The second story that I've brought for you today is from level 3 book of Our Country series of from the Oxford Educate Reads. And this lovely book is called Mina Goes to Fish. Now, today I'm just focusing on telling you these stories. And now you know the title of the story. The title is Mina Goes to Fish. So, my question is, can you tell me the name of one character from this story that I'm going to tell you? Quickly in the chat box. Tell me one character from the story that I'm going to tell you. Quickly from the chat box. Only the name of the character. All right. So, we know that there is a Meena in the book. All right. Lovely. Now, the title is Meena Goes to Fish. Can you tell me the setting of this story? You remember the setting? What is the setting? Can you please write down what is the setting, everybody? What is the setting of the story? Meena goes to fish. Let's see on count of 3. Let's move to the setting now. The setting is the very good. Setting is the place where the story is set. So it looks like that story is around the river, pond, sea. Wow. Below water, okay. Lovely. Because Mina wants to go fishing, so of course it has to be below water. This is very, very interesting. All right, you got it right. So somebody's saying aquarium, but we really don't go fishing in an aquarium. So here begins the story about Mina and his father. Mina's father. Who will tell me? Can you guess the occupation of Mina's father? Let's talk about Mina's father, the second character in the story. And there is one important element of the story that I have not talked about yet, that nobody has said as well. And we will talk about that once we complete this story. Yeah, everybody, you got that right. Mina's father is a fisherman. One day, while he is getting ready for his fishing hunt trip, getting ready his boat, Mina calls from behind, Papa! And Papa looks back. Yes, Mina. Papa. Yes, Mina. Papa. Yes, Mina. Papa, I want to go fishing with you today. All right, Mina, hop on my boat. And Papa calls Mina to hop on the boat, and they both go fishing in the river. So, everybody, what is the setting in the story? In the chat box now. What is the setting of the story? River. Yes, very good. I like it. So, as they go by the river with the flowing water and the blue sky like feel, lined by the mangrove trees on both the side, Mina and Papa goes boating, fishing, and get the food for themselves. After all, a fisherman's family's main food is the fish that they collect. So they laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing, and they laugh and they sing. And Mina and Papa go boating. They laugh and they sing. Can you sing with me? They laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing. And Mina and Papa go boating. They laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing, they laugh and they sing. They laugh and they sing, and Mina's Papa go boating. And while they're boating and boating and boating and going from one end of the river to another in search of, what are they searching for? What are they looking for? What are they looking for? Name of Papa is left to your imagination. What are they looking for? Laughing and singing, they're looking for fish. And suddenly they spot something blue in the trees that are lining the river. And that blue is a big kingfisher. Who is a kingfisher? It's a kind of, it's a kind of, they spot a blue up high in the trees. It's a kind of a bird. A big kingfisher comes by. Do you want to see the kingfisher? Okay, let me show you something. I hope you're, I don't know. Let me check if you're able to see this. No. Yeah, okay, now I think you can. Just I want you to look at my phone and see. This is what a kingfisher bird looks like, a blue bird, and this is Papa and Mina in the boat. And now Papa and Mina and the kingfisher bird are there, and kingfisher bird comes swooping by and picks up a fish. And it flies. Mina shouts, "Hey, bring back the fish!" Papa says, "What happened, Mina?" "She's taken away our fish." No, no, Mina, that's okay. If we only take what we need and give a fish a chance to breed, the river has enough to feed Papa, Mummy, Bhaiya, and you, and this little kingfisher too. So, what did Papa tell Mina? No, no, Mina, that's okay. If we only take what we need and give the fish what she has to breed, the river has enough to feed. The river has enough to feed Papa, Bhaiya, Mama, and you, and the little kingfisher too. Oh, is it? Yes, yes, yes. They can do it. And so they start rowing again in search of more fish. Papa and Mina laugh and sing. Papa and Mina laugh and sing. Papa and Mina laugh and sing. And they continue boating. Papa and Mina laugh and sing. Papa and Mina laugh and sing. And they continue boating. And while they are doing this, suddenly Mina spots some brown heads coming up from the river. And she sees, which animal can it be? Some little brown heads popping up. I'll show you the picture as well so that you can take a little guess. This is what Mina sees. Who are they? This is what Mina sees. Who are they, everybody? Papa and Mina are singing, and who are they? Otter. Yes, somebody got it right. These are sea otters. And as she's looking at it and admiring the sea otters, because she's not seen them before, she's never been on a boating trip with her dad. Suddenly, the otter goes up and picks up a fish. And Mina is upset. Why is he eating our fish? No, no, Mina, it's okay. No, no, Mina, it's okay. If only we take what we need, let otters take, they need to breed. The river has enough to feed Papa, Mama, Bhaiya, and you, and these little otters too. So, with this, Meena said, are you sure? Yes, yes, I'm telling you. If you just take what you need, let them catch what they need to breed, the river has enough to feed Papa, Bhaiya, Mama, and you, and these little otters too. And with this, they went home. Now, next day, even the little brother wanted to come fishing with Papa and Meena. So he also sat on the boat. And now, Papa, not Mama, Mama is not with them. Papa, Meena, and little brother, they're on the boat. And what are they singing in the chat box, everybody? What are they singing? Papa, Bhaiya, and Meena. Papa, Bhaiya, and Meena. Papa, Bhaiya, and Meena. Where are they going? Suddenly they shut down. Suddenly they stop singing because they see somebody in the river. Who do they see? In the chat box, everybody, who do they see? Papa, Bhai, and Meena, who do they see? Snap, snap, snap. They see a crocodile. Meena is amazed to see the crocodile. The brother is scared. He doesn't know. And suddenly, the crocodile dives in, and when it comes down, it has a fish in its mouth. And the brother is angry. Why has crocodile taken away what's ours? And this time, not Papa, but Meena tells the little Bhai, no, no, Bhai, it's not like that. No, no, Bhai, it's not like that. If only we take what we need and let others catch what they need to breed, this river has enough for us all. Papa, Bhai, me, and Mama, and it can feed us all. Yeah, you said it right, Mina. But can you sing that little song that I told you? The river has enough to feed us all. The river has enough to feed us all. The river has enough to feed us all. All you have to do is hear its call. The river has enough for us all. The river has enough for us all. The river has enough for us all if you hear its call. And with that, Papa, Bhai, and Meena went home delightfully. And you know what they had in their net? What do you think they had in their net? Everybody, what do you think they had in their net? A big fish. And as they go home, Mama is all ready to cook the fish so that they can have their day's meal. And they all remind themselves together, if you catch only what you need, let everybody catch what they need to breed. River has enough to feed Papa, Mama, Bhaya, and you, and the little sea animals too. And that's the end of the second story about Mina's adventure as she goes fishing. I hope while you were listening to the story, the second one especially, you were able to identify the various plots in the various elements of the story, the characters, the settings, the problems, the solution, and the plot. Now, one of the major elements, one of the very important elements, the life of the story that I did not mention in the first story is, can you quickly tell me what is that element that I'm talking about that I did not in the beginning? We have last 5 minutes left. We will wrap up in time. I want you to think of that emotion, that element that I have not talked about yet. The last but not the least, very, 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 very important element. Conflict. We talked about the conflict, the problem. We talked about the beginning, middle, and the end. We talked about solutions. We talked about characters. We talked about settings. What have we not talked about? Yes, vlogs with Dave and Spursh. We have not talked about emotions. Can you quickly in the chat box tell me, how did Meena feel when she first saw the kingfisher taking away the fish? Quickly, everybody. The emotion that Meena felt when she felt angry, she felt jealous. Yes. Okay, from the first story, emotion that Anu felt on looking at the dying last tree. Everybody, emotion from the first story. Emotion that Anu felt, she felt sad. Yes, she felt sad. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Emotion of the fisherman's family when they saw the big fish. Let's move. Let's move in the chat box. Happy, very happy, very excited. And now, while I can't see you, can I quickly request you to make your happy faces, everybody? And if you have made a happy face, put a yes in the chat box. If you have made the happy face, put a yes in the chat box. Now, can we make a quickly sad face like Anu? If you have made a sad face, put a yes in the chat box. If you have made a sad face, and she's crying, she can't see that last tree die. Cry, cry, cry. All right, and now last but not the least, can we be angry like Meena and Bhai when they see sea animals taking away the fish? Everybody, this is fantastic. And these are the emotions that are the juice of any story. The emotions, the senses, they add, they make the stories real. Now, the question about fiction and non-fiction, before that, how are you feeling after listening to the stories? Quickly, in one word, what is the feeling in your head, in your heart, in your mind? It can be anything from boring to happy, angry to sad, excited, whatever you are feeling right now after listening to these stories. Let's put that word, that one word that's coming to your mind here. Quickly. All right, all right. A few questions about the story. I'll take three questions. If you have any questions about the story, please put it in the chat box. I want you to tell me what are the different elements of the story. Put as many as you can in your comment together. What are the different elements of a story? Put it as one comment in the chat box. Everybody, different elements of the story. What all did we talk about? Please remember, this is day one of the Story Fest. We are going to meet every day at 4 p.m. In this live, and we are going to move forward and build on what we have learned today. There will be different stories, but there will be connections, there will be different stories, different reflections, and a lot of excitement, I promise. If if you have any suggestions or feedback of what we can do better, please put that in the chat box as well. So, yes, now character setting, emotions, problems, solutions. Very good, Preeti Veni. You have put in all the Preeti Veni, right? Character, emotions, plot, setting, solutions, and problems. You have put it everything in one chat, and that's amazing. Thank you so much. So this was about today. If you have any suggestions, if you have anything to share, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. I will respond. I will read your chat, and I'll try and take as many questions as I can. But I can take only limited because of time. We have last 2 minutes left, and I promise to meet you tomorrow at 4 p.m. So don't forget to sign in. If you enjoyed, please also tell your friends to sign in. To all you have to do is click the link that has been shared with you and join us. And we are going to meet, we're going to have fun with stories, we are going to participate, and I promise it is going to be super interactive, super fun. Let's do it together. Story Fest. All right. So, somebody who wants to know the moral of the story, like in the first story, think what you learned from the story. Think what this story give you, helped you imagine and think. And that is what we take away. Today, the stories that I picked were related to the world around us, to the environment, to how we need to live sensibly, sustainably, take care of our environment, live in harmony with the creatures around us. Take only what you need. And believe me, Mother Earth has enough for everyone to feed. So, with this, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. with new stories, new reflections, new insights, and new ways to explore the books, the reading, and the stories. Ta-da, bye-bye. See you tomorrow. And with that, if you're planning to join in tomorrow, quickly type tomorrow in the chat box. Quickly. If you promise to come tomorrow, quickly type tomorrow in the chat box. If you're planning to join tomorrow, and if you will tell more friends to join in, type more in the chat box. Let me see how many of you will bring in more friends and tell them that this is going to be super fun time for all of us. How many of you will bring in more friends? If you plan to bring in more friends, if you plan to tell more friends about this session, because this is free to watch, all you have to do is join the YouTube live of Oxford University Press India's YouTube channel. If you're planning to bring more friends, talk about this, tell them, type more. Lovely. Thank you so much. With this, I'll sign off. I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Oxford University Press India's Story Fest, created specially for you. Ta-da, everybody. Bye. And with this, a final bye-bye in the chat box, please. All right. Thank you.